All right, folks, we should be live, I'm assuming. Yeah, if you hear barking in the background, please, sorry about that. Buddy is intent on killing the neighbor dog. Oh, yeah, I need to fix my cap. Pardon me.
Oh man.
Maybe
It's perfect.
it was green, you see, and the green screen didn't like it. How dare it? But we're back with some bloody Appalachia. We are down one player tonight, Richard. Well, he had to do the very human thing of sleeping because he's in a different time zone. Yeah, it's really, really late for him, but not late for us. We are going to go ahead and play tonight. Last episode, you guys, you went to what it ended up being a slaughter, and then you went to a party, and then you went home. Or something very similar to that. But real quick, who are we playing tonight? Dion, who is your character?
Hello! Tonight I am playing as Fake News, who is the, final girl in the group, and the only girl. And, yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Bill, who you got?
Well, I'm playing a college student. His name is Chad Blutarski. You might remember his older brother. Sometimes he wishes he wouldn't. And that's where I'm at.
Sounds good. And lastly, the adult in the group. Tell us about your character, James.
I am playing Lars Troyer. I am, as I said, the adult of the group. I am the filmmaker, attempting to actually do my job and actually put together some film on what all the stuff we're investigating. But it's not going well because no one else is participating.
Right. Well, you've got some good footage so far. Maybe. Yeah. The idea is this group is out here with a little bit of funding because they won a contest. They put together a sizzle reel, basically, of what a cable access TV show based around the supernatural could be. And it intrigued the folks enough that they gave them a credit card, a van, and told them, take the winner to get us a season's worth of films done. And so here you are in the most haunted region of Appalachia. That you guys could winter here, and some strange things have happened. But right now, let's have Von Troyer roll me a d6, please.
No. No, I don't have any macro set up for that. 2.
Okay. You guys are at a cabin. It's kind of nice, very rural. There's a crystal clear lake that offers a lot of fishing, you're told, looking at a brochure below you here.
Are we still close to Bloodworth?
What's that? You're in a cabin. You're here because, what did you roll again? Sorry.
2.
A 2, yeah. You won a free week here. It's a college thing. It's one of these things where, like, sign up for this, listen to a 30-minute spiel, and you might win a thing. And you might also sign away several $1,000s of your future money because you don't understand investments. But in this case, you guys won a week at a cabin. And sophomores in college for spring break are here. Intended to do some fishing, maybe some sightseeing, maybe some hiking, and look at your. So we'll set the scene. Or this very rustic cabin. The outside is a little rough. It's made out of wood timbers. There is a chimney there. The people that you won this free week from has pre-set it up. It's already got some wood in there. It's got a good smoke going. They've laid aside several canned goods and some other meals for you to use in here. There's no electricity. And Jameis, you look at your two friends here, a gorgeous redhead that is in one of your biochem classes. That's your character, Dion. And your
I'm
friend
gorgeous.
your friend here in computer science, who, despite coming to the woods, is still wearing cargo pants, socks, and what do you call them? Sandals. He's also got a long beard that he's got all braided up in almost like a Viking style. He's got a lot of tattoos. He's a good guy, though. Catching your own reflection in a mirror that's nearby, you are a chisel-jawed football jock star of the show back in college. And you definitely wanted to get in some miles on the slopes here to see what you can in the wilderness. Maybe wrestle a bear. Not out of the question. Not out of the question. But here you are. 3 friends for a week, in the middle of nowhere. What could possibly go wrong? Let's find out what could go wrong. Bill, why don't you roll me a D8?
I will do that. Rolled a 1.
Wild dogs bark in the background. Okay. So you have dumped off your supplies here. You've got camping essentials, probably some little bits of stuff from home that makes you feel a little less disconnected from technology in the world while you're out here. Fake nurse, who's now masquerading as a leaf redhead. What would you have brought as I don't know, just a reminder or a loved thing? Each of you can think about that, but I'm going to start with Dion asking what your character would have brought here. You're in college, sophomore year.
I would have brought my little, what's it called? It's like a makeup powder puff with a mirror thing.
Oh, sure. You brought your compact.
Yeah, a little compact. Thank you.
Favorite shade to go with your very pale skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. And what does our eunuch student bring with him? That's
Eunuch?
you, Bill.
Well, my first thing was going to be a couple of flasks, bottle of gin, bottle of bourbon, bottle of scotch, bottle of cognac. You get the idea. And I'm also going to bring several code books because I like to drink and read code.
Sure. You've got the telephony system, the big red book, and you got a book on mastering COBOL.
Do I have a PC with me?
Of course not. It's there's mainframes at this particular time that you're going in college. There's no personal computers yet.
Okay.
Bringing us to the up and coming sports hero of the local college team. What would you have brought with you?
Oh, my lucky jersey, of course.
Okay, yeah, your Letterman jersey.
Mhm.
There we go. There you go. Very good. So there is a 3-layer bunk bed in here. There's 2 sets of them. It could comfortably, well, not comfortably, but it could hold 6 people in this cabin. So you've got 2 of these triple-layer bunk beds. There's only 1 good window in the cabin. It kind of overlooks the river below you. This is spring. Just the beginning of spring, so just a little chilly in the air, but otherwise beautiful day out here. No smog, no sounds of traffic. It's very nice. There's a Foot Locker here as well. It's kind of big. It looks very old. Leather edges. It's got big leather straps on it. No lock, just kind of like a buckle that holds it down. The fireplace, as I said, is got some logs smoking in it now. There's a little bit of wood in here, and you do remember seeing a pile of wood outside under a tarp as you were coming in as well. It's cleanish. I mean, nature comes in. All right, I've got to I got to do something with Buddy. Give me just a second. Hey, knock it off, Buddy. Get over here.
Yeah, I don't think we're in Bloodworth anymore, are we?
It's bad.
Who knows? Obviously, we've been plugged into some kind of virtual reality.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely the sort of thing they would have in this sort of timeline.
Oh.
Not the sort of foolishness the professor would be involved with.
Bad doggy. Okay, it is midday. You got here in a VW bus. seen better days, but it got you here.
Okay. I was gonna bring in a handful of wood just so I don't have to go outside tonight. Just get it over with.
All right. You go out to the wood pile. You throw back the cover that's on it. You were expecting cheap plastic, but it is kind of an old style canvas oilcloth.
No.
You throw it aside. The wood underneath it is perfect for tender and to get you through. Just a little cold outside. Again, it's the beginning of spring, so you don't need a lot of heat in there. It's not like it's going to snow, but you go out, you bring some in. What are the other two doing?
I basically pulled my rolly luggage thing in, and that's it. I'm definitely not the muscle, so I'm not helping haul anything inside. But I am getting like the kitchen put together and making sure the bathroom has all of my toiletries
Oh, there's
all
no
over the
bathroom.
counter. There's no bathroom.
There's no bathroom.
Where's the bathroom?
There's no bathroom in here.
We got an outhouse?
Uh,
Assuming
you
that
look,
now.
yeah, there's a little tall rectangular building in the back.
I guess that's probably what that is.
Oh God! Is there like a 5-gallon bucket anywhere in this cabin?
There is a bucket, yes.
All right, I'm gonna keep that in my bedroom for emergencies.
Well, the bucket is full with charred coal because your
Oh.
stove here runs on wood or coal, and that's what the bucket is for.
All right. Damn it.
So you could dump it out on the floor if you really wanted.
Yeah, I don't wanna. Too much work. Okay.
All right, yeah. Already disappointed in the accommodations. You got to poop outside.
This place is a prison.
Jameis, what are you doing?
I suppose I'll bring in the gear. You said this is a good place for skiing?
Hiking.
Hiking. Oh, that's not so much fun. Yeah, I suppose we bring gear. I'm sort of looking around, checking out the tracks.
Sure. So you bring in what you felt was proper gear for a week in the wilderness. So some sleeping bags, things like that, some lanterns. Yeah, you bring those in. There is a clear cut trail that goes up the mountainside and a very clear trail that goes down to the river. Looks like somebody at some point in time took the effort of putting stones in it. So it's like a very crude stair going down to the river. Now the path going up the mountain is not as nice. It looks like it'll be a little rough. Exert yourself a bit to go up there. A little wider than a game trail, but not by much.
Do we have food with us, or are we expected to get that from the
You probably
surrounding?
brought some food, but you were also told that the larders were stocked here, and you did see several cans of food. You saw some dried meats that were put aside, a sack of flour, a sack of coffee, a sack of sugar, a sack of oats, so you can make oatmeal if you'd like.
I'm gonna try and make coffee, but I'm just pouring hot water into the grounds in a cup, thinking it's instant coffee.
Oh no, they've got one of the cowboy percolators. It's one of these big like urn things. You throw the grounds in the bottom and you fill it
Yeah,
up
I
with
don't know how
water.
to do that. I'm just assuming it's instant coffee and just throwing it in a cup, and I'm like, oh.
Okay.
If I notice her doing that, I'm gonna run and show her how to work the percolator.
Yeah. It's very simple. Make some of the best coffee. Ask any cowboy; they'll tell you this is true. Yeah, you throw some of the coal in the iron stove top. You get a burner going there, and you boil the coffee, getting it going. Fills the cabin with the smell of rich coffee. There's no creamer, but there is sugar there. There's also like a mason jar full of what looks like honey as well. On the walls, there's a canoe hanging on the wall, very slender, but it
Ooh.
could seat 3 people, along with the oars. There's also some, rod and reel fly fishing and, normal. There's also, like, a little wicker basket to keep your trout in if you were to catch any.
Hmm.
Do we have wood for the fire? Did you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, your Unix programmer just brought in an armload of, wood.
So you said there was wood already in here.
Some, yeah, you brought in just to kinda make sure you had enough to get through the night.
Okay.
What time of day is it?
Late afternoon. You've probably
Yeah.
got about 4 hours until its sun will be down completely.
Mhm. How long are we here for?
A week?
Week. Uh, Let's say we have a quick hike up to the ridge there to get a good eye view of what's around us.
All right. You want to take a little walk around then?
Yeah, I'm suggesting it to them.
All right. 2 obvious trails. Like I said, a maintained, almost staircase-like trail going down to the river, or this kind of just wood break going up the side of the mountain. The cabin here is kind of in between. So like there's mountain going higher, and then there's a river lower. Oh, also, now that you're kind of looking around, why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check? I forget what it's called in this.
I forget what it's called too. Spot.
Give me a second. Yeah, spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, just use your character stats.
It's a 1-5.
Okay. You notice that the cabin has a lot of peak to it. And you think that there's probably like an attic up in there, although there's no window. But the cabin is a little bit taller than the ceiling would make you believe on the inside.
Is there also an anti-attic?
You do see like a double set of doors that are almost flush to the ground. So this would be like a root cellar, but it's not directly under the house. It's kind of like off to the side a little bit.
Okay. So, well, yeah, if you can come with me and have a look around, or
Yeah, I'll come with you.
I'll go.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, you can explore the area around the house. You can go up the trail, up the side of the
Up
mountain,
the
or
trail.
you want to go up the trail.
Let's go straight to the danger. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
The plan is to get some height so I can get a bit better idea about what's the area around and stuff.
Sure. It is steep, but the trail is easy enough. You know, some of you may have to stop here and there. Of course, your star ball player is just fine going up it. It's a beautiful view up here. Lots of pine trees everywhere. The river winds itself through the area. There are several mountains that are taller than this one, but you kind of get to the peak of this one. And there's some rocks up here. There's something that looks like an old style cairn. All of you are having to take some of the introductory courses at college, so you kind of know, like from this regional perspective, that sometimes Native Americans would use these as burial places. Yeah, so like there's cairns up here. It looks like somebody took a break out here because there's like an old fire pit as well. Hasn't been used in a long time, but it looks like it has been used many times, as there's lots of char in the area of the pit. Old stumps have been set around it as makeshift chairs.
Okay. Well, I'm not interfering with the cans. The other two can do that if they want to. But
I mean, does this stuff look like it's been used recently?
Not recently, but it has been used a lot in the past, but not recently. It's very cold. Yeah, there's no burning embers left. There's no reason to think that, like, within the last several days anyway, that it's been used at all.
There's no reason to think there's something weird going on.
No, it's a nice view here. Like if you happen to sit down on one of the logs that are set up, it's comfortable. You got a great view of the area around you.
I'll just do that. I can't get my bearings. So that's the main thing.
Did anybody roll better than the 15 on their spot? Or actually, I only had one person roll spot. Why doesn't
Yeah.
everybody roll spot?
Alright.
And you as well, again, Jameis.
Okay. Well, if we try for better than 15, it's going to be hard. Oh, but I did better than 15.
Mm,
I got an 8.
okay.
All right.
You're distressed that you have to sit on an untidy piece of nature as furniture.
It's dirty.
It is dirty.
All right. I got an 11.
11. Well, you and Sports Ball Guy, you know each other's names, but it's kind of nebulous right now. Notice that a lot on the cairns, some of the rocks that form the structures, there's glyphs etched into them. And you notice that some of the stones that make the ring of the fire pit must have been scavenged from some of those cairns, as they have some etchings on them as well.
No. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me like good computer code does, but
Yeah, you really, in that case, you really don't know if it's like native glyphs or if it's something else. Just just passingly interesting. It's made out of sharp angles and lines. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, I don't think that'd be in my wheelhouse to know anything about.
Oh, you said you did better than the 15. What did you roll, Jameis?
22.
oh wow.
22. Okay.
I'll roll with advantage.
You see, since you're sitting down here and you're just kind of getting the vibe of the area and you're looking into the fireplace, along with the charred bits of wood. Again, it's not recent, but it's been used a lot. There seems to be bits and flakes of charred paper in here too.
Anything large enough? I'll sort of have a desultory poke around. Oh, spot. That's been unusual. I'll have a look and see if there's anything large enough to.
Yeah, there's like a corner, so it looks like it must have been a book, like almost an entire book that was burned in here. So you've got like a chunk of pages off of imagine the top of the binding. There's like a big chunk that didn't get completely burned, and so there's a lot of pages in there. And the first thing you notice is the book must have been old because the pages aren't like they're not regular paper at all. They're more like not vellum, but maybe reed paper. Or very pulp paper, like early paper. It must have been some kind of handwritten journal. You can't make out any words, but you can see some loops here and there that looks like it was handwritten, probably in cursive, you're thinking, from what little bits you're seeing.
Well, the writing certainly doesn't match anything on the cans. They're regular.
No, completely dissimilar. Yeah.
No, I'll point this out to the other two. Cattle occasionally. Look at this weird thing.
No, my first instinct would be to say, "Oh, let's go look it up," but we can't do that.
Mr. Unix programmer, the only internet that you're aware of is the kind that the universities have.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could dial if we had phone lines up here, I could dial into their BBS with my brand new 1200 baud modem.
No, excuse me, sir, 600 baud modem, top of the line.
Okay then, yeah.
With acoustic couplers for the phone handset.
Yep. I had a friend that had the internet back in the mid 80s. Like, we went and did some stuff sometimes, but I wasn't anywhere near that. Yeah.
Dial-up BBSs. I ran a BBS during that time.
Oh wow.
I used them during that time. Yeah.
Yeah, all
Um,
right. So, it took, we'll say it took about half hour to get to the peak of where this is here. There are smaller trails radiating out. They do look more like game trails, like they've been
hmm,
blazed by deer and small mammals and things like that. But it does look like the blaze trail kind of just ends here to this nice overview of the area around you. You've got some misty valleys and you've got the river further down. Your cabin is nestled right in the middle of it. It all is very serene looking.
any sign of any kind of other huts or bushfires, or like campfire smoke or anything?
Looking around, the smoke from your chimney is very, very there, but you're not really seeing anything else. You were told that this was private land, used to be a hunting reserve for the family. Family hasn't used it in several generations. Yeah, so there's not really anyone else living here right now. Supposedly, somewhere around here is an old farmhouse, but it's kind of just left to be reclaimed by nature. Some 20 years back was the last time anyone lived there. The cabin, though, is rented out and leased quite often for people that like to fish the river down below, do a little hunting in the woods, which you are both free to do, but none of you have firearms, nor were there any in the cabin
that we saw yet?
that you saw. Yes.
I just got to get to go. Yodelay-hee-hoo.
There's maybe a full second delay before the echo comes back to you.
We're going, yeah, pretty impressive. As if I did was so responsible for that.
Mhm. Perfectly normal woodland. Just a
Mhm.
little chilly in the air. It'll get a little colder overnight, but over the next several days, it'll be warmer and warmer as spring progresses.
Yeah. Got my eye on the land. It's taking a while to get there. It'll take a while to get back. So, yeah,
Gonna head back to the house,
might as well.
to the cabin. Okay. Yeah, get back to the cabin. What do you want to do? You're maybe 2 hours from full dark. Sun's starting to go down in the sky.
Do we have electricity?
No electricity.
No.
Then I'm gonna
No
start.
running water either.
I'm gonna start dinner then.
Okay.
Trying to make food. Is there a can
Uh,
opener?
Yes, there's a lot of canned food. There's a can opener. There's a couple of big 5-gallon sealed tubs of water. Although it's a freshwater lake down there as well.
yeah. You got lanterns and stuff?
We'll assume you do. Yeah, some
Because
oil lanterns.
if you're going to the toilet in the middle of the night, you need a lantern.
Hmm. Okay. Anything else? So you start food. Like I said, there's several dried meats to choose from. There's all kinds of canned food. There are bags of pasta, beans.
All right.
Most of the stuff's been put here for us.
Mhm.
We have come to stay here, so it's not like we need to go and gather anything that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's not like we've got tasks to do or anything.
Nope,
We've
not at all.
done.
Yeah. The beds all have thin but new mattresses have been put in on each of the bunk beds. There's thin blankets, but you guys also brought your own sleeping bags and such as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna drink a lot from one of the bottles that I brought, and then I'm going to launch into a diatribe about why COBOL is better than Fortran.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As you go into this comparative study between the two, Fortran's better at math. Fight me. Um, you go through the cabinets and you do notice that there are some nice crystal tumblers and some shot glasses, but you don't see any liquor in the cabinets.
Hmm.
You've got your own, but there's shot glasses and really nice cut glass like bourbon or whiskey glasses in here.
But no booze.
Not in the cabinet larders anyway. I did mention there being a few other things in this room.
Yeah.
Leather chest with the leather buckles on it. Fairly large chest near one of the bunk beds.
What's in it?
Gonna go and open up the leather, pop it open.
Yeah.
Party favors. Somebody left behind several bottles of really good Kentucky whiskey in there. You see a box humidor with some nice cigars, and there's everything you need. Like there's a lighter, there's the plucker, and the little cutter. Somebody left a bag of weed in here.
All right.
A bag of weed, you say?
Yeah. You also find like an old wire recorder. If you guys are familiar with this, yeah, it's a reel to reel, a little portable, not hugely portable, but a little portable, and it uses a wire, a very thin piece of wire that is magnetized and can record information on. There's a microphone that's coiled up near it. The thing uses like these big battery cells. There's a couple of batteries there for it.
You do know we have seen Evil Dead, right, Bert?
I'll take it over to Lars and say, "Hey, Lars."
It's not Lars. It's undisclosed sports ball guy.
Hey, sports ball guy. Want to see if you can figure this out?
That look more your thing than mine.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry. I'll see if I can set it up and get it to do something.
Oh yeah. You the reel that's already on it. You puddle around with a little bit. You hit play, and you hear a young man's voice coming through as he's in the middle of talking about. It's like last night we enacted the ritual on page 19. Not sure what it would do, but we all had a great party that night. It just rambles on. It sounds like it was another group of teens that were out here. It doesn't say when or anything else like that. The only thing odd is in the background of this guy's voice, you hear what sounds like a lot of like flittering like wings, like small wings, like like insects or like dragonflies. But he doesn't really make mention of it while he's talking, and maybe it's just the artifact of this kind of archaic recorder. Because you've got 8-track now. The pinnacle of high fidelity.
I was more wondering if we might need mosquito screens.
Yep. The recorder's got a battery in it now. It seems to be a little low because the voice starts to warble a little as the battery kind of continues to lose charge. But there are 2 fresh batteries in this trunk as well. There's also a few blankets. And several notebooks. They look like your normal, school style notebook. You flip one over, and sure enough, it's like organic chemistry in one. One's a bunch of dissertations from a psychology class. It looks like one's sketchings. The first page that you turn to is that view that you are having sitting around that old campfire, looking down at the river below. Someone had sketched it out and in like colored pencil on this page. Very good artist.
Did they put an X marks the spot?
Yeah, the cabin appears as like this, just in shadow. It's not very precise because of the view that you're on, and the only thing that seems odd is like how artistically inclined this picture is. Like everything is very nice and detailed, but for some reason you're assuming it's smoke from the chimney stack, but it seems to be surrounding the cabin, and it's not really going up into the air. It's like an odd choice to do the smoke that way. It detracts from the whole whole picture just a little bit.
That's
Yeah, but there's whiskey in here. Good Kentucky whiskey
All right.
or bourbon.
No reason to dip into my own supply yet.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
want-
cigars and some joints as well.
I will invite the other two to share some of the party favors with me.
Oh yes, please. I am down for the joint.
What about you, sports ball guy?
Overly overly attractive lady brings over food. She's cooked in the kitchen and did a fine job with.
I watched a public access cable TV cooking show and made the recipe from it. I was gonna say YouTube, but that wouldn't work.
You probably watched it on a black and white television. And who's the lady that brought French cuisine to the American palate? What was her name?
Julia Childs.
Yeah, who ended up being a British spy. Yeah.
Was she?
Yeah.
She's actually my wife's like distant aunt or cousin or something.
Mm.
Traitor.
Yeah, my wife's probably spot, so it happened.
All right, yeah. So you bring out these dishes, and it's a good meal. You're going through the trunk. You do see that someone had torn off like a piece of notebook paper, just left a note, basically saying to to whoever finds us next, make sure you leave something for the next group of people. Cheers.
So we just, yeah, ours, all ours, finders keepers. Maybe
I
put
was gonna
one.
say if there's anything left after we're done with it.
You know what? Just put the shitty bottle of vodka in there. Just put the shitty bottle of vodka in there.
All right.
All right. Well, you're digging through, and that's how you found the note. And one of the things you found is somebody started doing like a little craft project. They got some stones. You're figuring from those cairns because some of the stones have some of the etchings or writings on them, and they had like taken a tool and kind of napped down the edges and was stringing them together to make like either a bangle or a necklace sort of thing. It's kind of half finished and was at the very bottom of the trunk.
Art students.
I don't know, but the nerd guy is gonna worry about, well, if it was like for something weird out in the woods, maybe they're all pissed off that these guys took it and we should return it.
You know what things? It's just us here. There's no one else around. We've been up there, saying there's no one around us. Just the three of us out here, far away from any kind of help or civilization. Don't you worry about.
Yeah, no electricity, no phone. Is there a radio, like a ham
Nope.
radio?
Nope.
No.
No.
Is there even a flare gun?
I would assume that your VW bus has like an AM radio in it.
Okay.
No flare gun, no.
I'll be right back.
She's gonna go lay in the VW bus and listen to her favorite radio station. That's what she's gonna do.
I don't know. I was kind of thinking about taking this thing up there.
Yeah.
How far away are the cairns from?
So, like I said, it was about a 30-minute hike, 40-minute hike up there because you had to stop a few times because it was kind of steep. Right now, you're about an hour till full dark. It is.
Yeah.
It's getting a little dark out there.
Yeah, well,
Beautiful
I'll
sky.
go tomorrow during the day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nights for staying in the cabin. There's animals and stuff around here. You don't want to be out there in the dark.
Yeah.
Nights for investigating that attic up there, and we'll find out whatever creepy things up there later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do remember that there must be an attic of some sort, but you don't see an access hatch, like not obvious anyway. The ceilings are made of wood timbers. They've been sawn flat, and you don't see immediately any kind of access.
Given how drugged up and weeded out we'll probably be by that point, we're never going to find it.
If you want to give it a good search and see if you can't find it, you guys can go ahead and give me a spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jock doesn't go hard on the drugs, and he's certainly up for the beers and stuff, but he doesn't go hard on the liquor.
Actually,
And
if you guys are partaking of the joints that were left, they're not particularly harsh. I mean, like, you're a little mellow. There was basically there was 4 left, so, like, each of you could have 1, and there's 1 left over,
Mm.
so not enough that anyone's gonna get trashed.
18.
Very nice. Well, you see it. It's in the kitchen. You notice that there's the beams have been crafted really well. I mean, they're rough-hewn beams, but one of the things you noticed was that there were no wood knots anywhere except for in the kitchen. There's one beam kind of like in the middle of where the kitchen is that has one wood knot in it. And on closer observation, the knot is not intact in the wood. It's almost like a bung. It's like it's been just placed in there. And sure enough, you pull that bung out, and there's a hole that you can stick your finger up in and pull down,
It's a
and
bunghole.
it's a trapdoor. Now there's no stair, so you got to pull yourself up in there. And as I said, there was no window, so it is dark up there.
Yeah, I'll hoik myself up and say, "Pass me up a lantern."
Okay.
Rather than putting a lantern up there first and then going up there, which would be the sensible thing to do. No, I'll hook myself up first. I consider, as I'm the jock, I'm pretty sure I can get up there without a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. You boost yourself up. The floor is pretty.
The floor is
You're
lava.
doing this by lantern light.
Yeah.
The floor, like, there's a big oval carpet that covers most of the floor. There's some furniture, you guess, that have been kind of pushed to the edges of the room, but it's all covered up in like black cloth. Again, this is like it's it's peaked, so there's not a lot of room towards the edges. Most of the room is towards the middle.
Yeah. I have to be careful. I'm going to knock my head on the
Yeah.
roof.
And it smells, of course, you've been smoking weed, but it smells kind of very herbally up here for some reason.
Oh, yeah, it's because we smoked all the smoke and it's pressing in. That's it.
It's a nice spot. It's actually kind of warmer up here. You see the stone of the chimney passes through the back end of this, making this kind of space up here much warmer than normal. You can only really stand upright in like the middle of the room, though.
But there's nothing else particularly of note around us.
Well, no, I mean, other than like you're assuming is covered furniture pushed to the edges and like this big oval carpet that just covers the floor.
It's odd that they've got a carpet in the attic. Hey, there's a carpet up here, and look, probably furniture covered with coverings, but not
See,
much
it's
else.
definitely like a 1970s shag carpet, actually.
Nice.
It's probably orange, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
Pull it
yeah,
up, put it in the van.
I've got plenty of time. Anyone else want up here?
Yeah, come on up.
Okay.
I'm nosy.
Yeah, you just put your hand up, Mr. Sports ball player, just hoist you up into the attic.
We have that awkward moment where I go a little too forward further and I like hold on to him like, oh, thank you.
I like it.
Yeah. It's a cozy spot up here. Again, the middle of the room is where you can stand up quite comfortably. It's a little bit, maybe 6.5 feet down the middle, but then it quickly gets very narrow towards the edges.
Yeah.
Do we have a light? Anybody
You have a
got
lantern.
lantern.
Got an oil
Yeah.
lantern.
Okay, I'm just gonna be nosy, look around.
Sure. There's a lot of what you guess is furniture. It's all covered with like black cloth.
You want me to roll a spot real quick?
Well, you tell me what you're doing. Just
Are you
describe
looking
what
under the cloth is basically where it's getting to.
Yeah, I wanna whoop, like just various things. You just be nosy. Like if there's a box, I want to open it. Like
Sure. There's no boxes up here. It just looks like it's just furniture covered with these cloths. The first one you go to, you figure is a coat rack, and you pull the cloth off, and well,
It's a
kind of a
sectional
coat
soap.
rack. No, it's this bar that goes up in the middle, and it's kind of these spikes that come out. Like you could use it as a coat rack, but the
Oh
barbs
yeah,
are awfully sharp.
that's going to be used to kill someone coming up.
Like awfully sharp. And the
Huh.
little tines are kind of stained, almost kind of brownish.
Oh. Oh, this
Yeah.
is rusty, guys. I don't. This is gross.
You pull another cloth off of one, and it's like it's this X shaped contraption.
Oh my god, no. Okay. Yep. I'm gonna
It's got
ask
it's
this.
got manacles at all the edges of the the
Hmm.
arms of the X.
Hmm. Is there like a thing covered with a sheet that looks like a big armoire, and when I remove the sheet, is it an Iron Maiden?
Uh, no.
Damn
There is
it.
something that looks
Uh,
kind of like a big armoire, and you throw the cloth off, and it is in fact an armoire. It's got
ooh,
like a little lock on it. It's got like it's made out of ebony. It's like it's really dark and it's been polished to a high shine. You can almost see yourself in the reflection of the wood. And there's like a teeny little brass lock that keeps the two doors closed.
listen and see if there's any sound of any fawns dancing or snow queens going by and anything.
Yeah. It is kind of big enough that you could walk into it if the doors were open, as a matter of fact. But the back of it is not is like the back of it is quite clear. Like it's not up against something that could be it would just put you right outside of the house. It's not like there could be a hidden space back there.
Hmm.
And that's up
Who's
against the wall in the middle of the room, like towards the back. So again, because of the height. While this is all going on, uh, Mr. Unix man, what are you doing downstairs? You're eating a pretty good meal.
I don't know. I was kind of thinking about taking a nap.
You're taking a nap. Okay. Which deck do you claim of the bunk bed? Bottom, middle, or top?
Oh, I'm going to be on the bottom.
Gonna be on the bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You lay down after filling yourself, and you're enjoying the last of your weed. There's one more in the bag, and you're contemplating taking it. Out of the corner of your eye, you see something buzzing around the room, and you kind of hear the sound of an insect wing.
Obviously, I look for it. What does it look like?
It actually lands kind of like on your toe. It's maybe 6 inches tall. It's
Big.
purple, and it has a mohawk for hair. It's kind of really long and kind of falls down over the back of this thing. And it's kind of just it's like it landed on your toe. We've already said that you wear like socks and sandals, so
Yeah.
it's
Is
on your
it
sock.
doing anything, or is it just sitting there?
Just
staring?
sitting there, just looking at you, contemplating.
I'll go, hey, what's going on?
It takes his hand and just does this pass in front of it.
Aha. We are communicating. Do you want me to do something? Do you need something?
It points at its mouth and it rubs its belly.
Okay. What do you like to eat?
It smiles and it has like rows and rows of very sharp teeth in its mouth. And
I'm
again,
not
it
a
points
fan of
down
that.
its mouth and it rubs its tummy.
Oh, hey, yeah. Why don't you just fly outside real quick and I'll meet you out there?
Do you just say that, or do you like point outside?
Yeah, I just point.
Okay. It flies over to the fireplace and just zooms up the flue. You assume to go outside.
Okay, and I'm going to run upstairs to where those guys are and tell them what happened.
All right. So you're standing underneath the hole in the ceiling there, and you can see the light and probably hear Dion's character saying, "Oh, it's an armoire." What do you say?
Can I get up there?
Sure.
Okay.
Probably not as easy as sports ball guy, but yeah.
I'll climb up there,
Okay.
probably out of breath, and go, guys, something weird just happened.
What?
And I'll describe this giant purple insect and the conversation we had. And I
6 inch
think it
tall.
flew up the chimney.
Went up the chimney?
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, it wasn't that good. It was pretty mellow stuff.
yeah, like, I don't think we smoked the same thing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If I was way blasted out of my head, you'd know it.
So, did you give it anything to eat?
No, I think it wanted to eat me
Why?
because it had lots of teeth.
So just give us some like of the dried meat that we have or something, I guess. You said it went outside? All
I'm
right,
not going back down there.
let's go look. I go downstairs.
Okay, I'll go if she goes first.
All right. Go downstairs. And there's like 6 of these 6 inch tall little folks. Some look male, some look female. Their skin is purple. They all have mohawks.
Oh,
Some are holding these little like pitchforky like things or little tines.
Yeah, dude, that's what I was.
And they're all just kind of like parked on top of various things, and they all look at you with big childlike eyes.
I'm like, oh, I kind of wave to them a little, like,
And
hey.
they do the same thing where they do this slow kind of movement of their hand in front of them, like they're wiping a windowsill or a window.
I kind of mimic it to like, I don't know, I'm like assuming that might be their cultural greeting. So I'm like, hello, back to them. And I'm like, well, I heard you guys are hungry.
They kind of almost all in unison kind of open their mouths and point down their mouths, and you see they've got rows and rows, almost like shark teeth.
Oh,
Very
okay.
sharp teeth, and then they rub their tummies at the same time.
Okay, all right. Come on over to the kitchen. I kind of motion them to follow. I go to the kitchen and
Mm-hmm.
get some of the dried meat and just lay out like a little charcuterie board, I guess.
Okay.
Like on a cutting board and just slice up like the meat and maybe some cheese and crackers or something.
Very
Okay.
professional looking.
Yeah.
They kind of flit over to the board and they start stabbing it with their little tridents, and they're shoving the food, the gobbets of meat into their mouth. They eat some of the cheese too. They're devouring a lot more compared to their small size. Their little tummies are getting very rotund, but they just keep devouring. You notice their mouths can open up quite large to eat these big gobbets of this dried meat. And they all
Okay.
kind of sit down, kind of sated, and they rub their stomachs, and they got smiles on their faces.
Cool. Can you understand me?
I'm not making you guys roll a fear check at this point because you've all been smoking weed. It's one of the effects is that everything seems kind of mellow.
Yeah.
All right. We're good with it.
So you guys understand me?
They nod, kind of all in unison.
Not to be rude, but what are you?
They kind of look at each other. They look at you, and they all just kind of shrug their shoulders.
All right, works for me. Can I do names? Do you have names? Can I call you something other than just little buddies?
They shake their head like no.
All right, little buddies it is. What's up, little buddies? Do you guys do you smoke? I kind of pull out another joint.
Nope. They kind of shake their heads, and they kind of look outside at the one big picture pane window, and they point at the sun that's just about completely gone down, and they point over to your front door, and they kind of do like this mime thing where they put their arms up, making themselves look bigger. They open their mouths so that their teeth are just like shining in the light.
I'll say, hey, are you going to eat us?
They shake their head no.
Okay.
What they point at the sun going down, and they point at your door.
Is
Oh.
there is I kind of pantomime this back at them. I'm like, is there like stuff out there?
Oh yes, yeah. They nod.
Is
Oh,
someone is someone coming to kill us?
They nod yes.
Are you here to protect us?
They shake their head no.
Are you here to help them?
They shake their head no.
do you know how to stop them?
They kind of do the thing where they look at each other again, and they kind of just shrug.
Any ideas?
Head goes up and down.
All right, show me.
Okay. One of them flies over to your ingredient shelf and kind of knocks over one of the containers of salt. One of them flies over to like where your fireplace is and kind of does a circle around the iron poker.
Iron, salt. Okay. We have like a big thing of salt, don't we?
We did, but they just knocked it over, so it's all
It
spilled
didn't
now.
spill out. No, it was like one of these old Morton containers.
Okay. I'm gonna do a knowledge. Would it be paranormal or occult to know like salt lines along doors and stuff?
Yeah. We will say that this character that you are inhabiting knows a
Mhm.
little bit of folklore
Mm.
and that salt is a protective barrier.
All right. So then, I'm gonna take some of the salt and go along the doorway, like a little line of salt on the doorway, each doorway, into the building.
Hmm.
And then, do I have enough salt for the windows?
Yes. There's only one window.
I'm gonna salt the window. Just a line of salt along the windowsill and the doorways,
Okay.
and then look at them for approval. Like, huh?
Oh, they do the shrug thing again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I look at the poker and I'm like thinking, would I would I understand that it's cold iron?
Yeah. It's not really a thing.
I don't
Cold
know.
iron just means like yeah, it's raw iron.
Okay. So yeah, I'll like, is there more of this in the house? I have one poker.
You've got a poker and then you've got one of these U-shaped things that's made to like to put a pot on the end and you'd put in the fireplace.
Okay.
The metal screen is also made of iron. You could probably break that apart for some jaggedy bits if you wanted to, but looking around, you don't really see anything else that's iron.
I want to pop up to the attic and grab the headstand.
The hat stand. Yep.
Because that's a long metal thing.
Sure.
Actually, what I actually want to do is just wedge that up against the door to sort of barricade it.
Okay.
Put it at an angle to barricade. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
As you're doing this, the sun finally goes down over the horizon, and just as it does, your purple-skinned guests all fly up the fireplace flue and just leave. And almost as soon as they do, you hear a good solid knock on the door.
Who is it?
Ranger Smith. Just coming out to check on you folks. Make sure you got all your permits in order if you're going to do any fishing up in the hills. You got guns? You going to do any hunting out here?
No guns,
no
sir.
All right. Well, I need to see your permits. If you can open the door, please.
We're
Kendall,
not actively fishing or anything. We're just here for a week to vacation, so we're not looking to do any of that.
Oh, I know. I just thought I'd get you all clear now. So, if I run into you later, I'm not going to shoot you or anything thinking you're poachers. We can just settle it now while I'm just heading off the mountain.
Could you come back in the morning? We kind of just started getting settled in. We really haven't unpacked.
Well, it's kind of an inconvenience. Sure, we can't do this now?
Yeah.
can we see the front door from the main window?
No, they're on opposite sides of the door, or opposite sides.
Oh, that's not much use, is it? That's who the hell set that up?
The architect when we leave.
Yeah. Honestly,
Hey,
sir.
do I smell weed?
No.
I think I smell weed. Are you all, you kids token up in there? That's illegal in this parts.
Nope.
No, we just
It smelled like this when we got here. I think the last people here kind of did it because we've been trying to, take care of the smell so we're not blamed for it. We just got here like a couple hours ago.
Well, all right. You're making this awfully inconvenient for me. You sure we can't just settle things tonight?
I think I'm sure, officer. We'll have our permits and stuff ready for you tomorrow, though. We gotta find them in our luggage.
All right. There's not any further words said at the door.
I listen to hear if a car leaves.
Well, I'll listen for footsteps first, then.
You hear neither.
Yeah.
oh dude, that wasn't them.
Yeah, no kidding. Not that I want to listen to what a bunch of little fairy things tell me, but
Well, I mean, what else do we have to go on?
Suddenly, a light comes through your window, and you see kind of a brawny man that's got kind of a hat on, and he's got the official kind of like forestry gear on, and he's putting his face against the door or window, and he's got the flashlights, and he's kind of looking in at you guys. And he kind of steps back and he kind of shines a light at himself so you can see his official gear and everything. And he just waves and says, I'm Chet. My brother Bill will be through here in the morning. Like I said, if you just make sure you're not armed. Bill likes to go off. He's got a thing against poachers. He's got a real thing against poachers. Just make sure you're not armed with anything obvious out and about, and you might not get shot.
Yes,
Everybody
sir.
go ahead and roll me spot rolls, please.
yes.
You need a fairly high roll here, so like 15 plus.
Like a
I
22?
A 21.
I got an 8.
All right. Overly attractive cheerleader girl sees that the guy's eyes has no pupils. They're just like black voids.
Mm.
And you just notice as he kind of smiles and waves, he turns around and walks off.
I wave back to him and just let him walk off, and I wait for a good couple minutes before I go, did anybody else see his eyes?
Yep. Well, lack of
Nope.
eyes.
I don't think anyone else. Did anyone else get at least a 15?
I got 22.
Oh, yeah. Then you did too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I got half a 15.
he had no pupils, right? Am I crazy? Am I high? Well, I am high, but am I crazy?
Well, you're not that high.
No, it was kind of mid, but all right. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, dodged a bullet, I guess.
So
If we want to be really paranoid, we could sleep upstairs on the rug.
Was there a window in the attic?
No.
Okay, good.
Only way in or out was the trapdoor in the floor.
You know what? I'm gonna put a salt line along the fireplace.
Okay.
put one along the edge of the entrance up to the upstairs. Just
Well,
in
there's
case.
again, there's not like really it's just a hole in the ceiling. There's no stair that comes down. You kind of have to reach up and pull yourself up.
All right.
It's an attic hole.
All right. Yeah, I'm probably up there first.
Okay, and you crawl back up in there. You got your lantern with you.
Yeah.
Again, with the fireplace heating the room below, and the stones of the fireplace coming up through here. It's decent up here. It's fairly warm. It must be watertight, as nothing in here looks like it's been water damaged.
Okay.
Is there anything up here that I could use for like a bat or some kind of weapon to swing at something?
Well, there's a lot of furniture that's covered up with cloth. The only thing that's been exposed was this weird hat rack with very sharp edges and this big black wooden armoire with a lock on the front.
Oh.
Oh, and the X thing that looks like yeah, you might have seen this in some of the magazines that you're not supposed to have.
Yeah, I did.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know if I know how to pick locks, but see if I can get into the armoire.
You think you know how to pick locks? Why don't you make me a roll? Add your normal character's dex mod to it.
I suspect by pick lock, in this case, you just look a little knife in there and go, tick.
Something like that, yeah.
Yep.
So this will be +3.
Okay. I assume you might have like some small screwdrivers because you work on hardware.
Yeah. So 18.
Yeah, it's a very simple lock. Pop it open, you open the armoire, and it's a little deep. It's maybe almost 3 feet deep. There's some drawers at the top that are closed, but the most interesting thing is that the whole inside has these hooks that have been just put into the wall, and there are all kinds of blades just hanging in here. You don't know what the heck they do. There's some that are serrated, there's some that are smooth, there's some that are hooked. They're all very clean and very shiny. As a matter of fact, they all look like they're like made of either silver plate or made of silver.
I'm going to grab a couple of them, yeah. I'll take the wickedest looking ones I can find.
Okay.
And
Do you
try.
find anything up there?
Am I? No, I show them what's in the armoire.
I poke my head up. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you guys coming up?
I'll stay down here.
Okay.
Hand me something though. We can pass them down along the way.
Okay, I'll take like 3 or 4 of them and hand them down.
Yeah.
I hand it down to him.
Yep. So along the blades, there's also a few things that look kind of odd. They look like almost like ice cream scoops. They're kind of spoon-like, but they curve quite a bit.
I'll hand one
The edges
down.
are very
I know
sharp.
what these are.
Looks like ice cream scoops.
Melon ballers.
If anybody wants to make an intelligence check to see if maybe they know what, maybe they have studied a course with what these things are.
Okay. It would be just a straight D20 roll. 19.
Okay.
4.
No idea. So, yeah, Mr. Unix guy, maybe you took some courses in the veterinary school, the veterinary college, just because you wanted, being a Unix guy, you're also kind of granola-y as well, and you wanted to know about raising like horses, like your big thing was horses, maybe. These tools are used to flens, open up, scoop eyeballs out.
Yeah, hey.
The particular knife that you have that's kind of long and has a hook on the end is meant to, like, you get it just under an incision and you can just zip open something's stomach.
Nice. Although I don't know, it's good that it's here, but I feel like these could be. Oh, Jesus, James. Bring to this game.
Yeah. And so in the better light and given that knowledge, it's like, oh no, these are surgical steel. They're not silver, they're surgical steel.
Interesting. Okay, that's weird. Are we in like the house of like a serial killer, guys?
I'm sure they would have told us.
You hear a scream from outside,
and there it is.
A woman yelling, "Help me! Help! Help!"
I'm not gonna go help her. There was nobody around when we were here, and there's no houses for.
I think I've broken my leg. I can't walk. Please, somebody help!
She's stuck there.
Oh, the humanity won't Won't somebody help? Won't people help me? You just ignore it?
Hell yeah.
Okay, yeah, after a while, it just stops.
It's gonna really suck if we go out there in the morning. There's a dead lady there.
Yeah.
We're like the anti-stereotypical horror movie tropes where we're
Yeah.
like, nope, we're no.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm breaking my other leg.
Looks like
I'm
they're
very
both
promis-
broken. Better
I'm
start
very
crawling.
I'm very promiscuous to those who help me.
I'm gonna look around at some of the other furniture up here.
Okay. Some of it is furniture. There's some old wooden chairs. They look like they're made of some very dense. They're almost like pews, actually. Not so like for several people to sit down on. And good solid wood, very old but well cared for, well oiled, for instance.
Okay.
One of them is almost like a lectern, you think? It might have been used for it because there's ink stains on the surface. You can find there's these two little pieces that are on peg that look like they would fold over and like hold down the edges of a book. No book. It just, this lectern that looks like that.
Okay.
But nothing else odd other than, you had the one thing that looked like a coat rack but was entirely too sharp. The X that was obviously made to hold somebody on, bound leg and hands, and then the armoire full of stuff. Who's still downstairs?
Two of us.
Yeah, I think both of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a light out in the wood that you see through the window. There's a fire. The trees closest to the cabin on that side of you are ablaze.
What?
It's a lie. Don't believe it. I shout.
All of a sudden?
Yeah, just suddenly.
Well, we can keep an eye on that from the window, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye out the window, not up against the window, but like a good couple feet back.
Okay.
Have we got any light on down here in the cabin with us?
Like I said, you have some lanterns, and then the fireplace, the fire that's going is bright enough to light the cabin pretty well.
Yeah, we may want to turn off the lanterns and try and darken the fire a bit so we can see out easier than they can see in.
You know what? That's fair.
The fireplace has a screen that you can kind of put in front of it, which will limit the amount of light that's coming out of it if you don't want to fully put out the fireplace.
Yeah, I don't want to fully.
And then you can turn down the wicks on your lanterns too. And so when you do this, it's very bright outside from the pines that are on fire and blazing. And you notice that there's at first you think it's just smoke, but you watch it a little bit more, and it's like a flurry of flying creatures. They do not look like your purple mohawked guests that were here earlier. These are a bit taller, about 9 inches tall instead of about the 6 on average the other ones were. Their skins are kind of a mottled green, and they have piercings through them, like through their cheeks, through their arms, and they're carrying a lot of hooked weapons. And they're just kind of swarming around the tree that's on fire. So much so that it looks like smoke at first.
I'm just going to watch and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can't see anything up there.
I can't see anything. I'm looking around at furniture.
Yep. You doing anything else up there?
Not unless I find something cool.
Well, you've opened up everything, so you see all the furniture. The only thing left up here is just like the shag carpet, the big oval carpet that's on the ground. There's really nothing else up here.
What's under the carpet?
I'm gonna roll it up.
Yes, I do.
You roll it up, and there are some strange sigils that have been painted in like a some kind of reflective metallic paint all over the floorboards in here. It's like in concentric circles. It's a small circle in the middle, and it radiates out, and in between each band are all kinds of symbols.
From my semester that I spent in seminary, do I recognize any of it?
I'll let you roll, but I want a really high. So this will be an intelligence check.
Okay, so it's a straight roll for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I made a penalty for my intelligence.
Okay, sorry. All right, here we go. Yeah, probably not.
No, definitely not Christian, whatever those symbols are.
Do I get any just weird kind of vibe from it or anything?
No, not at all. It's very well done. It's very precise.
All right.
This tree stops being on fire. It just stops.
Oh.
It wasn't really a tree on fire.
You know what? We need popcorn.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't tempt us out, Bert. I'm just saying we haven't hit the right trigger yet. Okay?
Oh, that's
If you're going to kill us, I'm perfectly happy with TPK. I'm just waiting for the right trigger.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know what it is, but so keep going.
And since you blacken everything else out here, it is brighter outside with it's a full moon tonight.
Ooh.
The tree isn't scorched at all.
Interesting.
You think that Salt actually does anything?
Think that what?
Salt actually does anything?
Well, from my knowledge of salt lines and stuff, usually what this would do, feel free to interrupt me if I overstep the knowledge, but usually it's like a thing for evil, malevolent, like spirits, and like salt is good at keeping out like I guess like demon and like evil shit. I don't know, like that kind of stuff. Plus, they did it in like I've seen it in like movies.
Mm.
But who knows? Like, I didn't think that 6 and 9-inch flying pixie things existed that were alternative and like punk rock music.
You certainly hear the sound of bells outside, but just not any bells. It's the bells that you are all very familiar with from the jingles on the television. It's a Swanson ice cream truck.
At
No,
this time?
Why would a Swanson cream truck be coming out to the middle of nowhere?
Ooh. I hope they have the root beer float ice cream.
Don't fall for it.
There's something we want to. Obviously, we want to leave tomorrow. Right?
Yeah.
But you want a week of this.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking we want to put a circle of salt around the van so we actually have a van tomorrow for us to get around.
Well, who wants to volunteer to run outside and try and lay an even line of salt around our fucking VW van?
Not me.
Me, I guess. There we go, Bert. This is how you're going to get us.
All right, you open the front door.
Yeah, I get the thing of salt and instructions on how to lay it and stuff.
Well, you open the front door, and the first thing you notice is that your VW van is been completely disassembled down to the smallest part. It is just laying spread out, almost like an exploded view of a van.
I close the door.
Replace the salt. Well, guess we're going to kayak out of here tomorrow then, down the river. Whee! Make a circle of salt and curl up inside and try to get some sleep.
Yeah, I would say a circle of salt around our sleeping bags, like wide enough so if we roll over or anything, we're fine. Just the perimeter of the room that we sleep in, even.
Assuming it does anything.
Yeah, who knows?
There is a loud, almost electronic kind of squelch, kind of like if you take a microphone and you get it very close to a speaker. That
Ooh.
it just very sudden inside the cabin, and then it's gone.
From where?
Not sure, just from inside the cabin.
Hey, Unisky, was that you?
No, it wasn't me.
Still upstairs, yeah. Looking
Yeah.
at this pattern on the ground. You're probably high enough that the pattern is enthralling.
Well,
Like you're kind of following it with your eyes. It's almost like a labyrinth. It's just drawing you in mentally.
Mm. That's unnerving. Should we check the rooms real quick inside the cabin?
This is the room.
Yeah,
That's the
there
one
are no
room.
rooms. The cabin itself
Okay.
is just one big room.
It's one
Yeah.
big room. I'm gonna
Yeah.
look in cupboards and stuff.
I'm gonna double check that tape recorder to see if, because that's the only thing we've got that's produced any sound.
Tape recorder's fine. The battery that was in it is dead. So like you hit stop, rewind, fast forward, it's just dead. There are other batteries in there, but you're pretty sure this didn't make the sound because there's no juice right now. You're going through the cupboards, you say. Give me another spot check.
This is all you, Dion.
14.
Okay. You pull all the cans out. There's a lot of cans. You found some more meat that was in the back. You find some biscuit flour that you'd missed previously, and there's like a old number 10 can that you pop the top of, and it's lard, but nothing else.
You know what? Wait. I'm gonna use because this is not canon to our normal thing, right? So I have all
it'll
the
tie in.
survival
It'll
points.
tie in, but go ahead.
Okay, but I have all the survival points in the world that I can use for this. So I'm gonna use the survival.
Assume overly pretty cheerleader person is also a final girl.
Okay, so I'm gonna use a survival point for advantage on my survival roll to re-roll this.
Oh,
go ahead.
Do I give you anything?
I'm assuming you still give me the +1 for being near you, so I've been assuming it's
Sure.
17 now.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing if I
You
give.
see that there's a wire in the back. It's kind of odd since this place doesn't have electricity.
Is it connected to anything?
You want to start pulling and find out?
Yeah. Well. Before I touch it, is it like got a protection covering, or
Nope,
is it an
it's
open
bare metal
wire?
wire.
Gloves. Anybody have a glove?
There's some
Glove.
gloves near the fireplace.
I put a glove on and
You start pulling, and then you hear that high kind of screeching sound again of like a microphone that's too close to an amplifier. And you keep pulling and you keep pulling, and plaster starts. And again, this is a wood cabin, so you're like, wait, plaster? Some of the wood is fake, and you pull, and eventually you pull a microphone out of the ceiling.
Oh. I smash it.
Okay. There's a very quick instance of that high sounding squelch and then microphone smash. The windows are flooded with light, so bright that you cannot see out of them. You kind of wince a little bit as the inside of the cabin is just like lit up like daylight.
Oh.
I've also seen Kevin in the Woods bird, so.
I'm gonna take the poker and I'm gonna start hitting the walls to check for plaster.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so you start doing this, and you do find that there are several sections of walls that are made. It's fake. It was made and shaped and painted to look like wood,
Mhm.
and you start tearing things apart, and you see like there are battery banks in the walls. You find some more speakers, and you find in the kitchen there's a big wire reel to reel that looks like it's recording.
Smash it. Just start smashing it.
Wow.
Okay. It sputters and stops working.
Yeah.
It cost us
Uh,
the university so much money, you idiot.
I'm gonna call up to Bill's character and be like, "Hey, some of the wood is actually plaster. Check around up there for any fake walls. Like, just like you can tell when you hit it."
Okay, yeah, I'll check around the upstairs.
I'm going up to the window trying to shade my eyes and peer out of the light.
The light is so intense, you cannot see out of the window at all.
But I
It's
am
like
perfect.
floodlight kind of
Yeah,
intense.
but I am perfectly silhouetted against the light.
You are.
Yep.
So tell me what you're doing up in the attic then.
I'm gonna tap the walls around to see if I can tell if any of it's plaster.
We'll make this easy. You do find a few plaster beams that were hiding wires and microphones.
If you find any electronics, smash them.
Okay, I will smash all the electronics I find.
You guys hear something going on at the front door. Metal moving against metal. The door rocks a little bit.
I go over and brace the metal thing to help make
Okay.
sure it's secure.
Yeah, hearing something at the door, I'm like, should we block the door with
It'll be
furniture?
Yeah, I mean, I've got it braced with a metal pointy thingy. They're going to have a hard time opening it. I mean, unless they smash the door. But if they smash the door, it doesn't really matter what you have up against it. And it's not like we've got a lot of furniture we can stack against it either.
Unless we could get the furniture up here, down there.
Do we have like a solid wood table or oak table, something that they use for
Yeah,
the dining
the
room?
kitchen had a good solid wood table in it.
Can we move it?
You move it. There is a void underneath the table.
A void?
Hole
A void.
right underneath the table.
Ow.
Get an oil lantern.
Look down, and it looks like that root cellar that you saw on the outside did branch off under the house, because you're seeing sacks. Some of them are labeled potatoes, some are labeled rutabaga, some are labeled yam, or
Put a salt circle around the hole.
I'm actually wondering if we use this to get out of here through the back root cellar passages where we get the fuck away.
Well, we could do that, but also the root cellar was accessed outside, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
which is
that
how we get
means-
out.
Which means something can get in that way too. So I'm
Nothing
gonna
has
put
yet.
yet keyword. So I put the salt circle here, and if we have to use that as an escape route, we know it. But yikes! How low is the drop?
It's like a 5-foot drop. It's not bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have like nails, a hammer with nails or anything?
No, there were nothing like that in the cabin. I think it'd
Okay.
be something you'd bring either for camp supplies.
No. You can put down a sleeping bag so we've got something soft to fall on. Or they've got something soft to fall
Mm-mm. Do we have any Everclear?
Maybe Unix guy brought some, but there wasn't any in the house. There was just whiskey.
Hey, you got any Everclear?
Yeah,
Where is it?
it's in my suitcase.
All right, I'm gonna go to a
It's in the
suitcase.
flask that's labeled medicinal.
I'm gonna go to the suitcase. I'm gonna borrow this and not give it back, probably.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, I'm not drinking it. I'm gonna do we have like a glass bottle anywhere?
Yeah, there are mason jars everywhere.
All right,
So
cool. So I'm going to make a Molotov cocktail
sure.
using like a kitchen rag and like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I got you.
yeah. And just have that ready. We have the lanterns, so we have fire. So yeah, just have that at the ready if we need it.
All right.
Who knows?
Yeah.
The lights go off.
No.
Oh, of course.
The very bright lights reckoning through the window go off.
Hmm.
What do you do?
I guess we should light a lantern again in here, so we have some light.
Yep. You've got a
Yeah.
very little bit of light that's still coming out of the fireplace.
Okay.
You put on the flue cover thing, but it's still got a little bit of light coming out. But yeah, you can light a lantern.
Okay. Put the lantern on like the other end of the house or something, so we just have even light spread.
You see in the window a lantern light.
There's a light.
Over at the Frankenstein's place. I kind of look at the lantern and like wave.
Something waves at you.
I'm like, okay, hey.
Okay. No, you figured it out pretty easily. For some reason, somehow, your window is turned into more of a mirror. It's just you. You're seeing your reflection in this kind of dark mirror.
Oh, that's weird. Is it like a natural reflection
Yeah.
because of the light?
No, it's very
No.
much like a mirror.
So I'm gonna turn around and pull out my compact and look in the mirror at that.
Let me think what would do. It doesn't show your reflection in the mirror, but it does show the shiny surface behind you.
My reflection isn't in the mirror?
No.
Guys?
You're probably a vampire.
Get over here. Football. Get over
Yep.
here.
Come over and sort of.
Does
I assume.
he have a reflection?
So what's going on is like you see yourself just fine in your mirror, but like if you
Oh.
position it so that you can see the mirror behind you, it's
Mhm.
just showing a mirror that's not showing your reflection in that
Okay.
mirror. You're in your own mirror.
Okay.
If you want to make me an intelligence roll, you can.
I won't be well, but sure. Boop. Nope.
Okay.
5.
Yeah, no idea.
No.
All right. Well, I kind of noticed that, and I turn back and look at it again. I see myself.
Mhm.
I kind of like I make a silly face at it.
I go over. I assume I see me.
Mhm.
Got my hand up. Touch.
Yep.
It's just as if it's a dark mirror.
Yeah. You can make me an intelligence check too.
Yeah, I failed.
Okay. Yeah. No idea what's going on.
I could have just put a cover, a reflective cover over the outside of the window.
So it's very much like a mirror, but instead of it having a silver back where your reflection is bright, the back is dark. And so you see a reflection, but it's kind of distorted and murky.
Oh, like a bronze mirror.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I'm getting really annoyed at this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go out and have a look around.
Out the front door?
Yep, I'm announcing this before
Okay.
I do it.
You pull the strange spiky hat rack out of the way and you go to open the door, and you hear the rattling of chains. You can't open the door.
Huh. Rattle, 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 rattle.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. The door's wooden, right?
Yeah.
We've got an axe.
Sure, you could have a camp axe. That would make sense.
What are you
I'm gonna
doing?
chip. I'm gonna chip a peephole in the door.
Oh,
Okay. You chip a
here's
peephole in the
Johnny.
door, and a thick chain has been kind of crisscrossed over the entirety of the door. So, like, you can open it just a hair before it hits those chains.
Hmm.
What do you do?
Jameis has a thought, but my football player wouldn't.
Mhm. Well, you guys have been doing a lot downstairs, and what's Mr. Unix guy doing upstairs after uncovering this silver or metallic painted kind of maze on the floor? You've just been standing there for a long time. What do you want to do?
I mean, obviously, I've been staring at it for a long time. I have no idea what this is. Are there any books or anything like that up here?
Mm-mm. Closest thing to a book is the podium that would hold a book, but there's no books up here.
Is there anywhere in the podium they could have put a book?
Not really. There's not like anywhere for it to hide. It's too thin of a base.
Okay.
And the flat panel where the book would lie is too thin to hold anything. I mean, you can go over it. You're pretty certain there's nothing hidden on it.
Okay. I don't know. And there are no windows up here?
There are no windows up here.
You can make a window. You go climbing through the armoire and see you end up someplace
Good.
else.
I kind of feel like I'm getting kind of funky, feeling just staying up here by myself. So I'm going to go back down.
Okay. That's where you see the big hole that they've unearthed underneath the kitchen counter.
You fall into it. Ah!
No, like what happens if we jump down there?
You'd be down in the cellar.
What's down there?
Yeah, if we can't get out through the front door, we might be able to get out through that way. It's a good
That's
point.
what I'm
Good
saying.
thought. Okay, let's do that then.
All right. You drop down. I assume that you got your lantern with you. And again, you see these like sack bags that have like the printed saying potatoes and radishes and rutabaga, stuff like
We
that.
have no reason to assume they don't contain anything but what's printed out.
But when you turn to like go in the direction you think that the double doors are, there's a wooden wall there. So it looks like this space directly underneath the house has been walled off.
Knock on the door to see is it thick, thin?
It's definitely wood. It's not the fake plaster kind of wood.
Yeah. But does it sound like does it sound muffled thud? Does it sound like it's a sort of a thin barrier that you could just...
No, it doesn't seem thin, but it's definitely just wood though. And not like vitrified or petrified wood. It's just, wood.
Get the axe.
Okay. Just start chopping away at it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you chop a hole, and you were surprised to see a pair of eyes looking at you.
Oh God.
The person is wearing kind of like this canvas over his head. He's got kind of like this either glass or plastic faceplate, and he's looking at you past that. And you see him reach down and pick up one of these big walkie-talkie like things, and you hear him say, "In the experiment." In the room above you, the two of you that didn't drop down in the hole, there is suddenly a billowing gas that's coming out of the fireplace. It extinguishes the fire and fills the room. So let me have both of you guys make me a save, con save.
Con save? Okay. Wait, what would a con save be?
I'm sorry. Save versus poison is what
poison?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just use your current character stats. It's fine.
This is my character stuff.
Oh, I passed. I got to roll under, right?
All right.
Yeah.
You cough and gag, but you're fine. Bill, how about your character?
Let's see. What are we rolling?
Save versus poison.
D20 roll low.
Okay, let me find my character sheet here. Save versus poison. All right. 10. I rolled a 10 exactly. That's my save.
Okay, same thing. You gasp and choke, but you don't succumb. At this point, the window opens, and men basically come in, and they're wearing kind of like, CDC kind of encounter rubber suits.
I am lighting that
And-
Molotov and throwing it out the window.
Yeah. So you see one of them kind of go over to where Bill's Unix programmer character is, and he kind of just puts this thing near his head, and there's like a sound as the bolt gun just drives a 2-inch hole through his skull as he drops. And I will let you try to do this because you did make a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah.
And you are the final girl. So
yeah. So go ahead and make me a ranged attack.
Good thing I'm trained. So I add Dex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's going to be 22.
Nice.
It hits the guy that just used a bolt gun to blow out the Unix professor or the Unix student's head open.
Yeah.
It hits him and it shatters, and he's enveloped in flame. He starts screaming. He's trying to pull the suit off, but since it's plastic, it just ignites further, and he turns into this just big Roman candle. He stops screaming pretty soon. So you get that one victory before the other one comes up and just puts a bolt hole through your head.
But I have the poker. I still have the poker. Can I, like, in the chaos of lighting him on fire?
No. We got 2 minutes till the end.
Okay.
So downstairs, you just hear this guy say this. You hear them choking upstairs. You heard somebody screaming. What are you doing down here?
How big a hole? I'm going to reach through the hole, grab the guy's mask, and just rip it off, sort of, just try and reveal who it is.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
You make me an attack roll.
This is something that my character won't do. I'm just going to roll a d20 and see what I care. I rolled a 4. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Okay.
I think it's probably bad.
You reach through the hole that you made, and you kind of grab his helmet, and you were hoping to kind of pull him forward to smack him against the wood, but instead what you do is just remove his helmet.
Yeah.
You pull it
that's
into the room that you're in, and you hear him yell like "fuck," and he starts to back out. You notice there is a respirator inside of the helmet.
Ooh.
And make me a spot check, please.
Ooh, now come on. This is the one I want to roll it really low.
You
10.
have
Woohoo! Failed. Yes.
Okay. Fail. Okay.
Well, 10.
Okay.
I got a 10. I'm pretty sure I need higher than a 10.
Your space down here starts to quickly fill with gas, but you've put this helmet on. What do you do?
Once I've done that, how well can I see through the helmet?
Pretty well. The gas is kind of colorless.
What I would like to do is abandon my fellow friends and go through that wall, but I think it's probably too thick to do that.
Okay. If you want to start hacking at it, though, what you missed was the guy had just unlocked from his side the door. So the first hit with the axe actually opens the door.
Oh, woohoo!
And so sports ball player escapes.
Yay! Escapes to tell the tale.
Cutscenes where these people dressed in the encounter suits are using chainsaws to cut up the bodies of your friends. They're throwing them in sacks that are labeled potato and rutabaga. Throw them into the hole, and they reset the whole scene. Team comes in to replaster the walls, put the microphones back in, and man comes in. Now this is you as your characters. You recognize the Lee family characteristics in this man. He's an older man. He comes in. He's got a clipboard. He's writing down. He's taking measurements of the two corpses before they're all cut up. He says, next time we'll have to lace the marijuana a little bit more, I think. Yes, yes, yes. And we'll have to up the paranoia a bit. So please get a hold of the scientist to say that we need a little bit more of that in there. Um, make sure that you've erased all possibilities of them being tracked back this way. Yes, yes. Oh, yes, please reinstate the college raffle. We will need another suitable experimentation soon. Yes, yes. And you see that on his paper, 1972, spring of 1972, and he's writing down failure. And there's like a chemical code
Oh
on it.
wow. Okay.
You guys wake up back in Taste of Bloodworth. All of you had the same dream.
Hmm.
And as you wake up, Jameis, your character, Von
Oh, that's
Troyer,
great.
your friend is already there smoking a
Yeah,
cigarette. He offers you a cigarette. This is in your room, so the rest of you don't
yeah,
see this.
yeah.
And he said, yeah, so that's some of the notes that I dug up. That cabin is still out there. And I think there might be some information about what's really going on around here. It might be useful if
Hmm.
you found that cabin. I shared with you everything that I could find in the notes.
Okay.
Oh, I dig it.
Do we know which river that was?
What's that?
Do we know which river that was?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, right, cool. That'll help. That'll help, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the thing that happened.
Yeah, so you guys all wake up from this very strange dream you had, and over breakfast downstairs in the Taste of Bloodworth, maybe you share the odd dream and figure out that you all
I'll
had the
say,
same
I'll
dream.
talk about, there's this cabin we should find, and they go, cabin, what cabin? This is where the stuff happening. What the hell? I remember that sounds like a dream I had.
Yeah. So there we go. You have a location in Bloodworth to check out that may have something to do with things that are going on here.
I like it.
There we go. So that's our interlude scene while Richard was away. Yeah, Dion, tell us about what you're doing. Anything you want to plug?
Well, when I'm not playing TTRPGs with all my super cool awesome friends, that's you guys, you can find me at my channel, Substances Used, where I play retro JRPGs, modern JRPGs, I do some Grand Theft Auto 5 roleplay, and yeah, we're still playing through Octopath Traveler. We're near the end. I gotta wrap up some side quests and do final chapters, yada yada yada, whatever. So that's been a lot of fun. It's a great game if you haven't picked it up. It's a really good revival of old school JRPG feel. Um, and I also bought Hello Kitty Island Adventure, so I am going to be, hanging out with Hello Kitty for a while. Maybe on stream. I don't know.
Dion was complaining that tonight's game was interfering with him playing Hello Kitty. So
Yeah, I downloaded it last night and I haven't been able to play it yet, so I'm chomping at the bit.
curse me. Yeah, just throw it all on me. Jameis, tell us about your blog.
Yeah, got a blog, post stuff on there. Haven't done much recently because I've been distracted with the video game that has corrupt saves. It's really pissing me off. But so I've been trying to get through that to get it out of my head, so I can go back doing other things like watching a lot of movies and talking about them.
Okay. Very good. Bill, you were running some games, I understand. Did we ever find out if you were streaming them?
Not streaming them yet. I have a very rudimentary knowledge of streaming, so
You do not know the deep lore of the stream.
I do not.
But tell us about what you are running.
Well, I'm running a every other week the One Ring Second Edition. Game just got started 2 weeks ago. We've got a game coming up this Tuesday. If you're interested, get in touch and I'll try to get you in. I'm also going to be starting some probably Rappanathic using the new Necromancers game that Frog God's going to come out with here in a couple months. Not sure on the date yet.
Well, let us know. And if you found us, you know where we are, but go to Blue Magic, BLUMAGIK.com to find our Discord channel, all of our social links, buy me a coffee, all kinds of good stuff. Check that out. And next week, maybe we'll return to our normal session. We'll see how that goes. As far as the stream goes, I am trying to go run a Cyberpunk Red, our Choom storyline tomorrow night. We'll see how that goes. And Sunday we should be playtesting new Weird Frontiers module that will be in the next edition of Weird Frontiers.
Nice.
Anyway, guys, thanks for playing. Say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.